In the headlines, Dominicans at home and abroad encouraged to invest in the country. Fishermen protest certain procedures involved in running their cooperatives. And world-class rapper Akon warns Dominicans against leaving the country's development solely to government. I'm Andrea Louis with the Channel 5 News. Details after this. Thank you for staying with us. First up, Dominicans at home and abroad have been encouraged to put party colors aside and work together to develop the country. The most recent call for unity came from Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit when he addressed visiting Dominicans on Tuesday ahead of the country's 38th anniversary of independence.
General elections are far off away. That provides us an opportunity, therefore, to reflect on the progress we have made over the last 12 months and plan for further development of this country. We have a golden opportunity to rebuild a strong and thriving country and economy for future generations. And I would love for all Dominicans to sign on to this task. We need all hands on deck.
Prime Minister Skerrit says government is committed to building back better post-tropical storm Erica, and Dominicans must come on board and lend their support and expertise to this venture.
One lesson learned from Erica is that nature is not to be interfered with. Indeed, it is to be respected and enabled. In this regard, the government is in the process of recruiting top-level engineers from the region and further afield to assist with the redesign of several of our roadways. This is a perfect time and opportunity for many of you living abroad to make known to the Diaspora Office your skills and experience in aspects of physical development. My preference would always be to facilitate the involvement of Dominicans first in the development of our country.
Dominica's 38th anniversary of independence is being celebrated under the theme, Strengthening Our Commitment to Nation Building. Meantime, returning Dominicans have been advised to further invest in the country in order to help it recover from the ravages of Tropical Storm Erica. Strengthening our commitment through investment was the theme of this year's annual meeting between government and visiting nationals. The Minister for Commerce encouraged returning Dominicans to commit themselves to investing in the country in order to help move it forward.
The government of Dominica is keen on spreading the culture of entrepreneurship and on stimulating greater investments. As we do so, we seek for greater engagement of the Dominican diaspora towards spreading the culture of entrepreneurship and greater investments. There may be opportunity for you to invest as a Dominican in the diaspora in geothermal energy. You can invest in manufacturing and agro-processing. There are opportunities within medical services and in waste management. In tourism, such as the mariners, adventure facilities, health and wellness, the creative industries, location filming, music production, film production, events. All these are opportunities for you to invest.
Paul also acknowledged that overseas-based Dominicans play a vital role in economic development and assured them that there are other ways to help the country.
We also recognize that Dominicans abroad continue to contribute to the economy, more so through remittances, showing, for example, a 68.6 million in remittances for the year 2014-2015. Increasingly, though, the government and agencies such as the Investment Development Authority and community-based organizations perceive the diaspora in a much broader development light. Today, the diaspora can be viewed as an asset which increasingly can help our country to turn around the negative consequences of migration into long-term development benefits.
Speaking of investment in Dominica, when one of the top richest rappers in the world graced the World Creole Music Festival stage, his advice to Dominicans was not to rely on government to develop the island. The Senegalese-American musician Akon, who is also a businessman and actor, told the Dominicans while wearing a T-shirt with a Dominica flag to meet their government halfway.
They don't develop anything. That's not their job. Their job is for an independent or private investor to come to develop, and then they watch that private investor and NGO to make sure that it's done properly for the people's benefit. So it's up to you to develop Dominica, not the government. The government is supposed to assist you and make it easy for you to develop your own island. And that goes for anywhere.
Akon's net worth is $80 million US. According to him, he thinks Dominica has a lot of capital to support developmental projects.
So, guys, it's very easy. You got over 80,000 people on this island. And I know there's a lot of money on this island because I'm here. Okay? So, come up with your ideas, come up with the plans, meet them halfway. Let them know what you want. Let them know what you want here. And then they will go out and pitch the right partners and get the money for you to make that happen. And that's when you will have freedom.
A Dominican diplomat says while he is not opposed to Haitians resettling here, he would like to see Haitians remain in their homeland to help it recover. Idona Jean-Baptiste has that story.
Dominica has received the Haitian community over the years with open arms and even allowing them to set up businesses on island. Haitians are involved in several skilled trade jobs, the most popular being farming, clothes making and barbering. Dominica's ambassador to the OECS and CARICOM, Felix Gregoire, told Channel 5 News he expects Haitians will leave the hurricane-ravaged CARICOM state for other Caribbean countries, including Dominica.
I'm sure some people will try to leave Haiti. We have also always promoted the fact that people should remain so that they can build back their country after a natural disaster. If people leave, then who will build the country? But that doesn't mean that people will not leave. And if people leave, then they'll find a place to go to. So I wouldn't be surprised if people who have relatives in Dominica try to hook up with their relatives and come here, even if it's for a short period of time.
Despite that, Gregoire has not expressed any concerns about the influx of Haitians to the island.
In my line of work, I'm dealing with regional integration. And regional integration means movement of people from one country to the next. And I don't think we need to get too excited about people coming to settle in our countries. I think we should take advantage of the opportunities based on that. So I'm not perturbed by persons, whether it's Haitians or St. Lucians coming to Dominica. At the time of need, we have to extend a helping hand to our brothers and sisters. And that is what we need to do, because when it's our turn, we expect the same treatment.
He thinks CARICOM's response to the recent disaster has been forthcoming.
CARICOM responded immediately because the chairman of CARICOM is Honorable Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, who led a mission, a CARICOM mission, to Haiti and the Bahamas as well. And CDIMA is an arm of CARICOM as well. And CDIMA responded quickly by having personnel on the ground to make rapid assessments. So CARICOM has been involved, and CARICOM has also sent emergency supplies to Haiti.
A Haitian compa artist is calling for better education of the Haitian people in time of disaster. T. Mickey was speaking to Channel 5 News in light of recovery efforts post-Hurricane Matthew. The artist says things have been bad in Haiti, especially since the earthquake of 2010, and the people need to be better educated on how to respond to disasters.
After the earthquake, You know, everyone was sleeping in tents. Everyone from all kinds of places came in to help Haiti. They gave us water, food, medicine, and all kinds of stuff. It helped. I'm very thankful for that. But after Hurricane Matthew, I don't think that's really what we need, you know. I think it's more like an education thing.
He says Haiti could take a leaf out of the book of one of its neighboring Caribbean countries.
In Cuba, I think it's in Cuba, every 45 days they have a drill. They have drills they have for the people. If there's any case of emergency, they know what to do. So I think that's what Haitian needs, you know, like some kind of a minimum of education. So really what I think people should bring to Haiti is not more water or food, because at the end of the day, when you give them water, when the water finishes, they're back to the same problem. So that's not really, Americans say this a lot, don't teach them how to don't give them fish, but teach them how to fish, so every day they could fish and eat. So that's how I feel. Education is key. Teach them what they need to survive.
Hurricane Matthew made landfall on Haiti on Tuesday, 4th October, and since then, relief has been pouring into the country from the regional and international communities. More news, sports, and weather right after this. Welcome back. Rosa Fisheries complex gates were chained and entrances blocked on Tuesday as fishermen and vendors staged a protest action and made their grievances known. They told Channel 5 News that they are mistreated by those in authority as it relates to purchasing of ice to preserve their fish. They are also extremely upset and disappointed with the new board which was elected last month.
For the past days, right, I've been going for a control to ice and storage, right? And it had inside there. We was feeling plenty, right? Because after 6 after 5 in the afternoon, we cannot get no ice, no storage, nothing. So you come if a fish are going to 300 pounds, 400 pounds, right? You have no storage, you have nowhere to look to. Call a number, you're not getting nobody. It's like you have nobody and no sun, no water, nothing. Right? Yes. And all you see in the early morning, when you come, before you even batch your boat, to look for money in your wallet or something, is that you must pay first. Right? That's if you have the first corporate there. See the first corporate house there? That is so more ambit than them. I'll get a look at assistance. But you see that new one I come there, it gets worse and worse.
John pleaded for the former board members who represented the Neartown Fisheries Complex to take back their positions. One of the main concerns included the price of ice, which they said is being sold to others at $8, which limits the amount that they receive for preservation of their goods. As a result, the people took matters into their own hands and prevented authorities from distributing any ice to others. Meanwhile, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Harold Geist, called a meeting in the morning to try to meet the vendors' and fishermen needs.
First and foremost, the complex is for the use of the fishermen and the vendors who work here. And then they have been extremely dissatisfied in terms of service that has been provided by the Neartown Fisheries Cooperative, who are the managers of the facility at this time. So based on our discussions this morning, we intend to have an intervention in this matter and to look at the alternative management arrangements for the facility so that our fishermen and our vendors receive the service that they deserve.
President of the National Fisherfolk Organization, Earl George, said the transition from the previous to the current board could have been much better.
And there are members who actually questioning the move. And there are also members from the Fisheries Cooperative who are actually mobilizing to find out what has really transpired. I just came from Barbados, where I was elected as a board member for the Caribbean Network Fisherfolk Organization, which is very good news to Dominica to have a representative from Dominica representing the whole Caribbean at that high level. What I can say, I know previously there was more motivation from the Fisheries Division to actually evacuate or to vacate Neartown Fisheries Cooperative from this complex. And however, I intervened and we were successful, where the cabinet had the chief fish officers return the keys to us.
The road to the complex was later unblocked and gates unchained as the vendors and fishermen's voices were heard. In the meantime, fisherman John Baptist Loda says the rules implemented make it extremely difficult for fishermen to conduct their business.
They want to close down the place at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Fishermen not supposed to come in on shore at a regulated time, say, well, it's 4 o'clock. Fishermen can come in sometimes 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. You might have a little difficulty with your engine, or maybe at the time you're getting ready to come back to shore, that's when you might meet the fish. So you will remain there and you will fish until you can, and then you come shore. When you come to shore, the place is shut down. No one is there to open up for you to refrigerate the fish or to get ice to preserve it. We had to resort to bring in, if you look up, you spin the camera around over there, you will see there are some old fridges. We bring in the fridges that is there for the purpose of storing the fish in there. If we can get ice, we will store it up because this place is closed from 4 o'clock. That is a bad thing. In the morning, fishermen usually leave sometime by 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, based on the distances that they have to go to. Some fishermen goes 40 miles, some go 30, some go 20 miles. So you have to leave at a certain time, so early morning to meet the fish. The place is open in the morning at 7 o'clock. That cannot be fair.
Loda informed that during the World Creole Music Festival period, members of the board were on time to distribute the ice to private organizations.
The vendors have been receiving ice free of charge and putting their fish there. I understand right now there's a stipulated price that the vendors have to pay for ice right now. So that is really getting out of hand, and before it have to get out of control and we may have to break the law, we decide to come together and stand up against that rule that is going on there. We really wanted some officials to come here so we can speak out our concern, and then we have done that and we believe they have heard, so we are waiting to find out what would be the next move.
And a monitoring system is being put in effect for organized and private tours carrying cruise passengers to tourist sites. The second cruise ship for this cruise season will arrive on Wednesday at the Roseau cruise ship berth. The MV Britannia is expected to bring 3,600 tourists to the island. Minister for Tourism Robert Tong said tour operators will see a more structured system this time around.
We'll also be looking at the dispatch system to ensure that we tighten up on it so that everybody gets a fair turn in the system, because based on what we've seen, once you have a large ship, everybody in the system should be able to get a turn, but many of them say it is not fair. So one of the things that we're doing, we'll be having persons at all the different sites to monitor who's coming in and who's going out, so we can have a tally to see, hey, if John Brown should have gone once, why is he there 5 times? And then we can maybe take the necessary action.
Tourism authorities have projected that 310,000 cruise visitors will arrive here from October 2016 to April 2017.
Out of the 34 countries, when we look at the independent scores, those without those that are not organized, we get a score of 6.5 over 10, and that's an unacceptable score. And that ranked us as 33 out of the 33. When you look at our organized tours, which have the tour guides on board, the persons have a great experience, we're ranked number 8 out of the 33. So there are things that we do well, and we have all agreed that we need to ensure that all the tours leaving the bayfront must have a tour guide on board, and everybody must adhere and follow the standards. So that is why we're trying to increase the number of priority sites, so that on a cruise day, the only persons who would be allowed to go to the priority sites would be persons who have been dispatched either from the organized tours or the private tours.
Coming up, your sports highlights.
West Indies are in control of the third and final test match against Pakistan after day 3. A brilliant batting display by opener Craig Brathwaite, 142 not out, helped West Indies to 337 all out. Then captain Jason Holder's 3 wickets helped reduce Pakistan to 89 for the loss of 4 wickets at the end. Newly appointed women football coordinator Wayne George says he's looking to develop women's football to the next level in Dominica.
Picking up that post, I knew you only there for a month, but just tell us on what.
Well, it's a great opportunity to be the women's coordinator because I always want to help football in Dominica, and being the women's coordinator now, I tried my best to see how I can get the women's standard to the next level.
We know that there's a lot of women teams that we need to improve on. In terms of women football, have been doing pretty well. There's a certain thing. What are the plans in terms of getting them to that certain level?
Well, a couple of weeks ago, I think on the 15th of October, we met with the women teams, coaching staff and manager, and we didn't talk to them, but we listened to their concerns. And we as the DFA, we take the concerns and we're going to sit down now and put a plan together to see how we can get the women football going this season.
We know that you were part of the coaching staff for the women team before picking up that role a couple of years ago. No new things to you?
Well, no, not really new to me because I knew women football for a little while now. As you know, I was the assistant coach for the senior national team. Then I was the assistant coach in 2013 with the under-20, and I was the head coach for the under-17 who take part in the World Cup qualifiers in Nevis in 2015. So I in the football for a little while now, and I honestly I'm going to try my best and see what I can do.
He says he's very interested in reaching out to the schools.
School league is a very important thing, and maybe that one of the areas that will be given major priorities in terms of the school to develop the women's football.
Well, yes, that should be the main priority because it's simpler to get the young girls to understand the game at an early age. So when they reach up the level at the senior team, it will be very, very easy for the coaches. So we have plans in place for us to do lots of grassroots programs and district festivals for this, especially the primary schools. As you know, it have a secondary school league going on. So we're going to try to improve the standard of the secondary schools. And one of the goals is, as I say, is I don't want to say your school have a woman team and you cannot really plan you're going to take part in the league to make the league look a kind of a way. If your school is very good, you'll play in the league. If it's not, we're going to work with them to get up. So if you can't play this year, at least you'll be there for the next season.
Because I realize one of your main tasks is to work very close with the sports division. As you know, the sports division have been working with the Football Association in terms of getting women's football at the primary school and the secondary school.
Well, I think it's been a while. I think that before I was here, I understand DFA was trying to organize some primary school. I know the secondary school is under the primary school. So I think the main goal is to organize the primary school to have the football competition going. I haven't seen any primary school football girls yet since I've been in the football, but that's my goal, to see how we're going to get the level of the primary school, the basic understanding of the game to the primary school. So when we to the secondary schools, it'll be a little bit easier. Because as you know, most of the primary schools, they just have somebody as a teacher there that might sit down on it and have it playing, you know. So we want to get coaches that understand and know what they can do to help. So we have some plans as the FA in place to help the coaches, and anytime they need our help, they can call on us. And as I tell them, we want to do it like a monthly basis. So I give you a program, you run the program. If you have no problem, you call me. If I have to be there, I will be there. But every month I want to come and give a assessment or evaluation of the coaches and see what they do in the schools, and if they need any things to improve them, equipment-wise and everything, we'll be there to help them.
And coach of the national handball team, Joel Hamilton, says Dominica's performance in the last regional tournament was very good compared to last year. Dominica did not win a match in last year's competition.
Then tell us about it and how it went.
Well, it was the IHF, International Handball Federation, U20 tournament for the region. And that was our second year in the tournament. And I think this year we did much, much better than the first year. Because the first year we played 4 matches. We lost all 4 matches. But this year we played 4 matches also. We won 2, we draw 1, and we lost to the champions. And the game has improved, because even out there, the coaches and the other teams are very impressive of our players. They even want some of our players to come up there in Guadeloupe and Martinique and sharpen their skills. Even the girls, I mean, they were really impressive, Romel Philip and some of the other girls. So I think in Dominica, I think we should embrace the game. Some people want to fight it even before it starts. But right now, the game is moving. We have students or our players as far as Castle Bruce, Portsmouth, Dubla. And it's not only grammar school playing handball now, but we have schools like ITSS and Northeast Comprehensive. So the game is developing. And in the region, we are ahead. I mean, we beat teams like Trinidad and Barbados. So I think now we should put things in place to develop the game nationwide or island-wide.
He says there were more teams this year.
Yeah, because as I told you earlier on, we should embrace the game and really try and develop the game in Dominica, because the bigger countries now are into the game. The last time it was like Haiti, Dominica, now French Guiana is there, Haiti wasn't there because we know what happened in the storm. But all the other countries in the region, even though they didn't take part, they had representatives there observing. And there are a lot of different federations being formed around all the islands. Because, you know, handball was a European sport technically. But now it is really, really, really going for the Caribbean like wildfire. And I think we need, I stress on that, need to embrace the game and encourage the game to be played among young people. I also believe handball can help develop the other sports like football and basketball, because handball is a technical game, and it's you must be very, very physically fit.
Your sports highlights. Join us next time.
Your weather forecast is next.
Good evening, Dominica, and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I'm your presenter, Marshall Alexander. We begin by taking a look at earlier infrared satellite imagery, what it showed. This area of deep convection associated with a trough system presently affecting the area. Now, taking a look at earlier visible satellite imagery, what it showed. Multi-layered clouds across the area today, including pockets of thunderstorm cells embedded within. And this resulted in generally cloudy skies during today. Now, taking a look at earlier radar imagery and what it indicated. Shower activity across the region, including some thunderstorm activity during the afternoon. Tonight's weather is expected to be mostly cloudy with showers and isolated thunderstorms, and these conditions are expected to continue into tomorrow. Sea conditions are expected to be slight to moderate in open water, with waves peaking up to 5 feet. Small craft operators and sea beavers, especially on the western and southern coasts, are advised to exercise caution. Looking ahead to the next 3 days, mostly cloudy skies with showers and isolated thunderstorms can be expected throughout the next 3 days due to the presence of this lingering trough system. As a result, persons in areas prone to flooding, landslides, and falling rocks are advised to exercise caution. For the rest of the Caribbean tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies with showers and thunderstorms can be expected across the northern and central portion of the region, with cloudy skies with scattered showers expected across the extreme south. Our international cities forecast: cloudy skies with showers expected in New York and Miami, clear skies expected in London and Beijing, with showers and thunderstorms expected in Caracas. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:02 a.m. and sunset will be at 5:36 p.m. Please remember that we are in the hurricane season. For more information, you can call the weather hotline at 447-5555 or visit our website at weather.gov.dm. Thanks for viewing. Have a good night.
To end the news, the headlines again. Dominicans at home and abroad encouraged to invest in the country. Fishermen protest certain procedures involved in running their cooperatives. And world-class rapper Akon warns Dominicans against leaving the country's development solely to government. Feel free to contact us at news@MarpinNewsNov1st2k16. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Andrea Louis, and to all our viewers around the world, thank you for watching. Join us next time.